Japan is a country of striking contrasts. Ancient temples stand in the shadow of glass skyscrapers. Centuries-old traditions continue in one of the world's most technologically advanced societies. Today, Japan is known for its innovation, discipline, and cultural influence. But the nation we see now is the result of a journey that began thousands of years ago. Long before the first emperor, before the samurai, before Tokyo became one of the world's greatest cities. These islands were home to small communities whose future would shape the course of history. Japan was not built in a single era. It was shaped over thousands of years, with each generation leaving its mark on the nation we know today. To understand the Japan of today, we must return to where its story began. Millions of years ago, powerful volcanic activity beneath the Earth's surface formed the chain of islands we now know as Japan. The first people arrived more than 30,000 years ago, crossing from mainland Asia during the Ice Age. They survived by hunting, fishing, and gathering food from the forests and surrounding seas. Around 14,000 years ago, the Jōmon people developed one of the world's earliest pottery traditions, leaving behind evidence of communities that thrived for thousands of years. Centuries later, new migrants brought rice farming, metal tools, and new ways of organizing society. Villages grew, populations increased, and local leaders began to emerge. The foundations of Japan had been laid, setting the stage for the rise of a nation that would leave a lasting mark on history. As villages expanded and agriculture flourished, powerful clans began competing for influence across the islands. By the 3rd century, one clan gradually rose above the others. Known as the Yamato, they established their authority over much of central Japan and laid the foundations of the country's first unified state. During this period, Japan looked beyond its shores for new ideas. Influences from China and the Korean peninsula introduced writing, new systems of government, and Buddhism, which spread alongside Japan's native Shinto beliefs. As these traditions blended, the imperial court grew in power, and the city of Kyoto became the center of politics, culture, and religion for centuries. Japan was no longer just a collection of farming communities. It had become a kingdom with an identity of its own, preparing the way for one of the most legendary periods in its history. If you're enjoying this documentary, I'd love to have you here for future stories. Subscribe to the channel, and let's continue our journey through history. As the imperial court grew weaker, powerful military families began competing for control of the country. By the late 12th century, political power had shifted from the emperor to the shogun, a military ruler who governed Japan with the support of loyal samurai. More than skilled warriors, the samurai lived by a strict code of honor known as Bushido. Loyalty, courage, discipline, and self-sacrifice shaped every aspect of their lives. For centuries, rival clans fought to expand their influence, building fortified castles and reshaping the political landscape of Japan. It was an era marked by conflict, but it also gave rise to many of the traditions and values that remain closely associated with Japan today. Yet after generations of warfare, a new leadership would bring an unexpected period of peace, one that would change the nation's relationship with the outside world. In the early 17th century, Tokugawa Ieyasu emerged victorious after years of civil war, bringing a new era of stability to Japan. As the Tokugawa Shogunate strengthened its rule, the government made a decision that would shape the nation's future for generations. Japan closed its doors to most of the outside world. Foreign trade was tightly controlled, Christianity was banned, and contact with other countries became extremely limited. For more than 2 centuries, Japan remained largely isolated. Yet this was not a period of decline. Peace allowed agriculture, commerce, and the arts to flourish. Cities expanded, traditional culture matured, and Japan developed along its own path, largely untouched by the rapid changes taking place elsewhere. But no nation can remain isolated forever. In the middle of the 19th century, the arrival of foreign ships would force Japan to make a choice that would change its future forever. In 1853, American naval officer Commodore Matthew Perry arrived in Japan with a fleet of warships, demanding that the country open its ports to foreign trade. Faced with growing international pressure, Japan ended more than 2 centuries of isolation. The change was swift. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration returned political authority to the emperor and launched an ambitious program of modernization. Railways stretched across the country, factories transformed the economy, and a modern education system prepared a new generation for a rapidly changing world. Within a few decades, Japan had evolved from a feudal society into an industrial nation. Its transformation was so rapid that the world began to see Japan in a completely new light. As Japan's industries expanded, so did its ambitions. Determined to secure resources and strengthen its influence, the country began extending its reach beyond its own islands. Victories over China and Russia surprised the world, establishing Japan as one of Asia's most powerful nations. Its growing military and expanding economy transformed it into a force that could no longer be ignored. But with greater power came greater responsibility and growing tensions with other countries. Those tensions would soon push Japan toward a conflict that would change its future forever. In 1941, Japan entered the Second World War with the attack on Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States into the conflict. What followed was years of intense fighting across the Pacific. As the war turned against Japan, its cities suffered widespread destruction, and millions of lives were forever changed. In August 1945, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki brought unimaginable devastation. Days later, Japan surrendered, bringing the war to an end. The nation faced one of the greatest challenges in its history. Its economy had collapsed, much of its infrastructure lay in ruins, and the road ahead seemed uncertain. Yet this was not the end of Japan's story. It was the beginning of one of the most remarkable recoveries the modern world has ever witnessed. After the war, Japan faced the enormous task of rebuilding a nation that had been left in ruins. Under a new constitution and with sweeping economic reforms, the country focused on recovery instead of conflict. Factories reopened, businesses expanded, and investment in education and technology laid the foundation for a new future. Within a few decades, Japanese companies became recognized around the world for their quality and innovation. High-speed bullet trains, modern infrastructure, and advanced manufacturing turned Japan into one of the world's leading economies. What many had once believed impossible had become reality. Japan had transformed itself into a global economic powerhouse. Today, Japan is a country where tradition and innovation exist side by side. Ancient shrines and centuries-old festivals continue to thrive alongside futuristic cities, robotics, and some of the world's most advanced transportation systems. Japanese culture has reached every corner of the globe through its cuisine, fashion, anime, manga, video games, and technological innovations. At At the same time, the country's commitment to discipline, craftsmanship, and respect for tradition remains an important part of everyday life. Modern Japan stands as a reminder that progress does not always mean leaving the past behind. Instead, it has shown that history and innovation can grow together. Japan's journey is far from over. Today, the country faces new challenges: an aging population, a declining birth rate, and a shrinking workforce are reshaping its economy and society in ways few nations have experienced before. Yet Japan continues to adapt. It remains a global leader in robotics, artificial intelligence, engineering, and scientific research, constantly searching for new solutions to old problems. More than 1,000 years after its first kingdoms emerged, Japan continues to evolve while holding firmly to the traditions that define its identity. From isolated islands shaped by volcanic forces to a nation admired for its innovation, resilience, and culture, Japan's story is a reminder that true progress is built over generations, not achieved overnight. And as the world continues to change, the next chapter of Japan's evolution is still being written. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more journeys through history, where we uncover the stories behind the world's most fascinating countries and civilizations. If there's a country or civilization you'd like to see featured next, let us know in the comments below.